Hi, I'm Kristie. I'm a Florida knitter sharing my knitting adventures through the Sunshine State on my blog, coastalknitsandpurls.com. So today I'm talking about my weekly Florida knitting adventures. So of course the week of July 1st. Let's jump right in. So first of all, I worked Monday through Wednesday on my full-time job and I had Thursday and Friday off. So we as a family boarded our boat and grilled and waited, for it to get dark and for the fireworks to start in Melbourne Harbor in Melbourne, Florida. And it's funny, for someone who's so patriotic, I found myself without any patriotic yarn to work on a patriotic yarn project while I was there. I have since corrected this situation. So I did the next best Floridian American thing and I knitted on our boat. I did work on the second sock for pair number 10 for summer sock camp. So not patriotic yarn, but I will share that finished object with you later. So I want to talk about my yarn haul, very exciting. You may remember that I told you that the ladies from Knit and Stitch Boutique up in Cocoa called me to say that the yarn that I had ordered had arrived, so best call ever. And bonus news, they shared with me they were having a big yarn sale. So on Friday, I did drive up to Cocoa and I picked up the 3 sock yarns that I had already ordered and 2 more sock yarns that were on sale. They are all from Florida Yarn Dyers and they were all bought, of course, from a Florida LYS. So I'll share those with you really quick. So this one I already wound up into a ball because I started working on a project. But this one is called Turtle Cove. And I'm not sharing the Yarn Dyer's name because I'm actually no longer going to support this particular Florida Yarn Dyer once I finish with the 2 skeins of yarn that I purchased already from them. And the second one that I purchased from their line is Sea Glass. So you can see really pretty, very Florida, beachy, tropical colors. Also a sock yarn. All of these are sock yarns. So I'll be knitting shorty socks probably for my girls with that skein, or hank as it is now. The next one was a sail yarn from Indigo Child. This one is called Flamingo Island, which I love mingos, love the colors. Really nice. Can't wait to knit some pretty socks with that. This Emma's yarn from her practically perfect sock line. I ordered this one specifically for summer sock camp because it's called 80s Rewind. So you can see it goes along nicely with the 80s, 90s theme of the logo this year. Another sail yarn that I picked up to rectify my non-patriotic yarn stash supply. Another Emma's yarn, practically perfect sock, and this one is called July 22. So again, we'll knit up some nice shorty socks with that yarn. So that's all 5, I think. In the mail, I actually didn't get anything in the mail this week. I had received a notice on June the 20th that my project bag, as part of my Destination Lane subscription, was supposedly shipped, and it usually arrives the first week of July, or the first week of the month. So I was expecting it this week. However, I think the 4th of July holiday may have disrupted that. So I checked my Destination Lane account and it says it's unprocessed. So I'm not really sure what that means. So I'll keep you posted when I do receive the project bag or updates on it. So current works in progress. Let's see. So I mentioned this Turtle Cove sock yarn. I am knitting a pair of Turtle Cove shorty socks with this yarn. So this is knitting up really nicely. So that's one of my works in progress. Dish towels. I started working on dish towels before summer sock camp started, so I was waiting for it to start. And this is one that I have currently in progress. And it won't be done probably until after camp is over with. I honestly haven't touched it at all. My scrappy blanket I didn't bring out, but I had committed to doing, 4 rows each Sunday. Honestly, I have accomplished 0 on that. So again, I think once summer sock camp is over and I'm less focused on socks, I'll return to some of my previous projects. Another work in progress that I have is a shirt. I actually knitted one side of the shirt already. So this is the panel that I already knitted. So it should go something like this, maybe this way. I guess I could decide. But basically you knit the 2 panels and then you sew them together, leaving a neck hole, 2 armholes, that kind of a thing. So I did start the other panel. However, it's still a really tiny little triangle, still like teeny tiny little triangle. So not very much progress there at all. I had 2 finished projects this week, which were both socks. So my first one was sock pair number 9 for summer sock camp. Really cute. These are for my youngest daughter. I used a colorway called Yellow Tang, and the pattern that I used is actually a modified version of the Sunshine on My Feet pattern by the kitchen sink shop. And I also modified it for the type of needles. I exclusively knit socks on 9-inch circulars. I do have to use DPNs to Kitchener the toe, and of course the darning needle to Kitchener the toe. But other than that, the rest of the sock I completely knit on 9-inch circulars, which you can see the sock in progress. The second, or actually this was the first, no, I'm sorry, that is the first sock this week. The second set that I finished this week is this set, also for my youngest. This has a really pretty pattern too. It's hard to see. It's easier to see when they're on her feet, but anyways, this one is, I had some stash yarn, so it's old. It was never used. It was brand new. It was Audine Wools by KnitCrate, which, as you guys know, KnitCrate doesn't even exist anymore. So it was old. The colorway is Mousse. And again, I modified the Biscuit Socks by Fluffy Fibers, her pattern, to make a shortie sock on 9-inch circulars. And both of these projects are on my Ravelry project pages, which you can find at Kristie McCauley on Ravelry. Or you can go to the blog, and on the Weekly Adventures page, you'll see the Ravelry project pages listed there, and I'll also list them, down below here in the video. Okay, so you can find me on Facebook at Kristie Knits. You can find me on Instagram at Kristie Co. and Pinterest at Kristie Co. YouTube at Florida Knits, which is where you are now. Threads at Kristie McCauley, and Ravelry, Kristie McCauley. So what I'm watching. So I finally finished all 6 seasons that are on Netflix of Outlander. And I started watching, and I'm currently finishing up Dairy Girls, also on Netflix. It is hysterical, so funny. There are only 3 seasons on Netflix, and I'm on season 3 right now, so I am starting to panic a little bit about what I'm going to watch next, but I'll keep you posted on that. So what I'm listening to or reading, so I've shared with you guys before, I listen to a ton of audiobooks every single month when I'm knitting, when I'm doing the laundry, or when I'm driving somewhere by myself. So I'm currently listening to a Mary Kubica book, which is called She's Not Sorry. But this week I also finished Before We Were Innocent, The Other Mothers, and The Confession Club. And The Confession Club is actually for my book club. I am still reading the hard copy of The Funeral Ladies of Ellery County. I honestly have not been reading it, but my annual girls' weekend trip starts not this next Thursday, but the following Thursday. So I usually do read a book while I'm floating in the pool or relaxing around our Airbnb or Verbo house that we rented. So I expect I will finish that book in the next week or so. So shops I love, I'll list at the bottom that I talked about today, you know, Knit and Stitch Boutique, Indigo Child. You can contact me always. I love hearing from my fellow knitters. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions or comments, or just to share your latest project with me and with everyone else at coastalknitsandpurls@gmail.com. Till I see you next time. Bye.